Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Randy Described Eternity by Built to Spill. This song comes as a request, so as always, if you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to get to it. So pretty confident that I have never heard anything from Built to Spill before. I'm going in pretty blind here, but excited. Excited to hear some new music. That was kind of the whole point of starting the channel, was just to hear new music every now and then. So, or at least new to me. But I do remember, for some reason, I have like the name of the song stuck in my head. I do remember being recommended the song Carry the Zero by Built to Spill. I feel like that was from a long time ago, but it just turns out that the randomizer chose this one instead. So we're going to give it a shot and just hope that it's a good song. So let's do it. All right, here we go. Loving this bass line so far. The guitar is great. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in, but what they gave me, I felt like was really good, really enjoyable. So, just that overall, like, doom, 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 that kind of like main riff throughout, I think was very enjoyable. But they knew when to kind of kick it up a notch and really make it interesting throughout the song. I really like the style. I see that it's recommending me like songs I've already listened to on my channel alongside of this one, like Sleeping Lessons by the Shins and Ode to the Mets by the Strokes. Do I Want to Know, Arctic Monkeys. So I'm guessing that YouTube probably categorizes this as like an indie pop song. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Can't wait to break it down a little bit further. Of course, starting with the lyrics. I'm very interested with this title here, Randy Described Eternity. So the first song on Built to Spill is 1997. Wow, I actually would have never guessed this was from the 90s. I mean, this had this sort of more modern feel to it. So the first song on Built to Spill is 1997 album Perfect From Now On. Randy Described Eternity is, as its title succinctly states, a poetic description of eternity as told to lead singer / lyricist Doug Martsch by the leader of his Christian youth group. In a blog post, a fan estimated that it would take 1.125 times 10 to the 37th power years to perform the feat this song describes. Interesting. Okay. Speaking of extremely long lengths of time, Randy Describes Eternity kicks off Perfect From Now On consistently long songs, all of which are between slightly under 5 and 9 minutes long. Okay. I mean, we've heard longer on the channel, but yeah, no, for an entire album to have songs kind of at that length, I would say that definitely does constitute a sort of longer song album. So let's take a look at it. Every 1,000 years, this metal sphere, 10 times the size of Jupiter, floats just a few yards past the Earth. You climb on your roof and take a swipe at it with a single feather. Hit it once every 1,000 years till you've worn it down to the size of a pea. Yeah, I'd say that's a long time, but it's only half a blink in the place you're gonna be. So very interesting stuff here. Like when he first mentioned the giant sphere bigger than Jupiter and it passes by Earth, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But it seems like maybe that's what his youth pastor assumed heaven or eternity would look like. There's like this sort of thing, or maybe eternity is that, like, he's describing that sensation or that idea of like having this huge metal sphere. I mean, again, 10 times the size of Jupiter, and it only comes by every once in 1,000 years, right? I think is what it said here. Let's see, 10 times size, every 1,000 years. Yeah, this metal sphere, 10 times the size of Jupiter, floats just a few yards past the Earth. You climb on your roof and take a swipe at it with a single feather. You hit it once every 1,000 years till you've worn it down to the size of a pea. Yeah, I'd say that's a long time. So, in essence, like this huge thing that is so massive, I mean, we can barely even conceive of it. And to kind of like tickle it with a feather once every 1,000 years until it's the size of a pea would take just so long, as they said here, 1 in 125 thousandths times 10 to the 37th power years to perform. So I guess just the idea that it would take a long time, and that's eternity. Eternity is just a long time, a time that we cannot possibly fathom, I think. So where are you gonna be? Where will you spend eternity? I'm gonna be perfect from now on. I'm gonna be perfect starting now. Stop making that sound. Stop making that sound. I will say I forgot it, but it was only yesterday, and it's all you had to say. Interesting. So basically, like, oh, if that's eternity, if that like sort of just this concept of forever is what it really is like, then I better start being perfect right now. That way I can make it there, and I'm not having a bad eternity, because that, I mean, honestly, having to wait every 1,000 years just to tickle something with a feather, I think sounds not super fun. So anyway, lyrically it's very interesting. I wonder how much of it was based off that conversation with his youth pastor. And if so, I think it's kind of his youth pastor must have been a really weird person. Let's see, this is a poetic interpretation of, and it is an interpretation of what a Christian youth group leader named Randy once described eternity as to his group, which included Built to Spill's lead singer, lyricist Doug Martsch. The basic idea was a metal ball that only comes around once in a while, wearing it down by giving it one swipe with a feather. That's just a little tiny bit of eternity. So maybe I guess it's sort of saying like we can't even imagine what waiting around for 1,000 years looks like, because we only live to be like 100 at the most for most people, you know. So it's like I think it was just an idea of like how long of time is this, and how almost impossible to conceptualize is this amount of time. So I thought that was kind of interesting about it. I like that it is a poetic take on, I guess, a real conversation. So there's a lot of really creative elements in there. So lyrically, I got to give it 2 thumbs up. Thought it was pretty neat, and it makes me. It's one of those where there is definitely a lot that I think you could leave up to your interpretation. It kind of leaves you walking away like, okay, like let me think about this some more, and what is this really talking about? So I thought it was great lyrically. I like when a song can kind of be open to multiple interpretations, or when a song kind of leaves the listener thinking about what they just heard. So that was pretty cool. Instrumentally, there was a lot going on here that I really liked. That bass line at the beginning, the guitar at the beginning, and that just kind of main riff, doom, 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 if I remember correctly, which is very enjoyable throughout. I think really set a nice tone for the song, but they kind of knew when to sort of build up and give you something a little bit more energetic, or I guess varied as the song went on, to the point where it was like it almost felt frenetic at sometimes. But I liked that a lot about it. There were some really nice elements. I liked the singing style to it as well. I feel like he just had a really nice voice, and with the sort of softness that you got from some of the instrumentation there, I think it just worked really well. So instrumentally and vocally, I got to give it 2 thumbs up for sure. I just had a good time listening to this one. Could really vibe out with it. And again, it really surprised me that it was a song from the 90s, because it really does feel to me like it has a very modern sound to it. So yeah, super enjoyable there. And then as far as replay value goes, I think this one's going on the playlist for sure. It was just an easy listen. There were a lot of really cool musical elements. The lyrics are interesting and sort of make you think, and are open to interpretations. All these things that I really like about a song, I think this song has it. And again, that very modern feel in sort of a song that's 20 plus years old at this point. So yeah, I thought it was really, really good. So I give it 2 thumbs up there as well. Overall, a fantastic song in my opinion. Really, really enjoyed it. So it's going on the playlist for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you would like to request something, just leave it in the comments. That's what the person who requested this song did. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place that you should hopefully be able to find this song is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. It has every single song I've heard so far on my channel, as long as it's on Spotify. And of course, if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.